to you so you explain to me in very clear terms if indeed there's anything wrong, why people should not lobby for people they think they have confidence and they think they have studied their track record, they have delivered, and that if given a higher position, they could as well do better. But we'll come to that shortly. Dr. Percy, in your view, what should be the nature of our governance in terms of the structure when it comes to appointment? Is there, apart from constitutional consideration, do people really have a say in saying, President, we think you should go for this person or that person? What should be the nature?
Well, okay, before I come to just did you say that the Reform Party was defunct?
I think that should be a genuine error. I think it's still in existence.
Okay, so I have to correct, otherwise I'm sure that before this program is over, I'll be
yes,
attacked
Reform Party is still in existence,
for
viewers.
not defending
Indeed.
the cause of my party.
Absolutely.
It's been a bit quiet,
Okay.
but that's another matter. Now, I have many views on this issue. I think one can say that lobbying is as old as government.
Okay.
Okay. And I think that the fundamental thing about politics, any politics, I mean, at the core lies the issue of material interests. Okay. Now, so those interests can be personal. They can be the interest of a collective, a section of the collective, or a combination of all of these. So that's the first point. And I think it is fair and proper that all interests should seek to have a place in the sun, so to speak. Of course, we elect parties, we elect presidents on a platform of parties and their program, their agenda, their vision, so to speak. So my expectation would be that the party has a clear program, has a clear vision of where it wants to take the country, which vision is articulated by its candidate.
Okay. And the manifesto as well.
Precisely, but it's basically the articulation is the business of their candidate.
Okay.
On the basis of which it secures the mandate. So from that point on, paying due attention to all the injunctions, regional balance, gender balance, and this, I take it to be a major source of the dysfunctionality of our politics. This injunction that the majority should come from Parliament. Which really limits us and any president. Subject to all those injunctions, and speaking to the issues that Percy just raised, that you're putting together a team to work to the vision and the mandate that you secured on that basis. So from that point on, it should be people, okay, who have competencies that are relevant, okay, who are known to the organization, in whatever role, whether frontline role, backroom role, who buy into the vision and are willing to work as a team to realize it. And I do not accept the position that people are raising that the president should be left alone. The business of running a country is too important to be left to the president alone.
This is specific appointment.
Every business of our country is far too important to be left to the president alone.
Okay.
So within the party, you'd expect that there'll be ideas, suggestions, nominations. Okay. Now, the real problem is that in many senses, the party organizations are not working very well. Okay. Otherwise, this business really should not be a business apart from, let's say, what you can call private interests, okay, this business ought not to even surface in a way in which it is surfacing, where you have a traditional ruler saying, more or less, demanding that because this resource comes from our region, this must come to us. But you see, I think it reflects a certain degeneration of our republic. Okay, a fact that has its roots from '66, I would insist, and accelerated after 2000.
Okay.
And this sense that, look, so people want to know where you are from. Okay, because people are looking for access. They look around the president. People are looking for all kinds of favors. They want to have a son or daughter, for that matter, close to the president or close to the center of power and decision making.
Okay.
Okay, and to the extent that people feel excluded and marginalized, this will happen. To the extent that people feel that they are out of their decision making, that their voices don't count, that their concerns don't weigh in the decision making of government. To that extent, you can expect more, not less.
And so how do we juxtapose the two positions?
So I'm saying, the point I'm really making is that, for me, governance is activity at several levels, all the way down to a smallest community. Okay? And if our governance was really working very well, those who are capable, it would not be a matter of a lot of debate.
Okay.
Because they would have proven in rising through the ranks, from dog catcher in a village to assemblyman to what have you. You understand the point I'm trying to make?
Okay.
But it's precisely because I think that politics is dysfunctional. So you have this phenomenon where people can parachute in from nowhere.
Okay.
Someone is putting himself up for president and almost becomes a joke. Okay. But it's precisely because there's a problem with our political system. We've even cornered ourselves to believe that you can exclude politics from the lowest level. So where do people start cutting their teeth and learning? From their communities. Okay? We're saying that, look, the political parties are not there. In fact, we've cornered ourselves to believe that they are not there.
But you see, the danger in not allowing the president to be free when it comes to some sensitive operations, such as appointment of ministers of state, is that you have all sort of interest at play. It gets very dirty.
But that's not the danger. Politics is about interests.
Indeed it is.
Yes.
National interest.
Interests.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what manifests as a national interest may indeed be national, or may be the interest of a small group, perhaps the most vocal. So I can give you many issues that never make it very far in terms of policy.
I'll come to that in terms of the issues and policy consideration. But let me come back to Comrade. The lobbying, really, is it the strategy that people employ when they are lobbying that is wrong, or the whole idea about lobbying? Because I know elsewhere the professional lobbyist group, that you pay fees and they do lobbying on your behalf, and it is legitimate. Is it in Ghana we haven't professionalized it? Is that the problem, or the act itself you have difficulties dealing with?
In some other countries, the lobbying is usually about business opportunities and things like that. Or somebody wants a business in Iraq and they want to see the State Department or the Ministry of something. You know, those are the ones where they need professional lobbyists who have contacts and things like that. But that is about them. It's about them and their business.
Okay.
Now, when you come to politics or political positions, now, what makes it problematic for me is, why are you lobbying now? Why? When you were working within the party, was your talent not seen by the group?
Perhaps there are other competitors. So
from where?
Within the same party.
No, if there are competitors, that's why the party should be working as a team. If the party is working as a team, okay, then we will know that, does it really matter who becomes minister of what and minister of what, if the party's manifesto or the party's objectives are being met? Does it really matter? We should ask ourselves that question. So we joined the party for what reason? That we believe that there is an objective, there is something we believe in, that we think that if they are implemented by a government, it will be good for the country and the people. That's why we joined the party.
Okay.
It should not be about our personal selves. And that as far as our personal selves are concerned, we are participating in it in order to achieve that goal. Now, when it comes to appointments, whoever gets appointed, we support that person because it is within the framework of the teamwork that we are working. Okay? So you may be asked that this is your other role. You may not be a minister. And another person may be asked to play another role. All go together to support the move towards progress of the country. Okay. That's what should happen. So if we are talking about competition from others, as if it now becomes an individual thing, then it becomes problematic. It means that we are not. What is happening, it is not a joke. Not just backstabbing.
Forces of darkness at play.
Face stabbing. You know, things like that. So it becomes very, very problematic. That it looks as if I want the job. It's not because I am the best person to project that policy, but I want the job because I want to be in that position.
But you see, what is interesting is that anytime some names make rounds in the media and they are called upon, they are quick to discount it and treat it with some contempt. We are unaware.
No, that's part of it. Look, some of them actually first go to the press and say, put this thing out.
Okay.
Okay. Then when you have put it out, others will come and interview me. Okay. Then I will praise the president. And I'll say, I'm available for anything.
Ready to serve
I'll
the
be
country.
honored. I love this country. Until that time, we didn't know that this person loved this country so much. If you love this country so much and you can play a role, the party should know.
I was coming to the role of the party, really, when it comes to appointment. What role should a party play? I mean, a party with the president, because really, that is where the difficulty comes from most often. When consultations are made and people have problems with party executives, they are rest assured that their names would never surface. And that has been a problem.
You know, there are two issues, right? I mean, one, our constitution makes the president a very powerful person.
Indeed.
But it's almost a constitutional dictator, almost. But the president also runs on the platform of a party.
Of course.
Its program, its agenda. What say should the party have? A very large say. A very large say.
Okay.
Because the president is elected on the party's platform to pursue its agenda. Of course, whether it happens in fact or not is another matter.
Okay.
And what the considerations? The key issue is the considerations that go into who gets where.
Yeah.
Okay. Because as Chrissy said, if we are members of a collective committed to a common program, then for all of us, our interest is in getting the best person for each place on the team.
Okay.
Because it should work to our benefit. Okay. Now you alluded to, advocacy even did, the fierceness of the struggle that is going on, and all kinds of what you might call inferior tactics that people are employing. But for me, that is a symptom of a problem. It says that there really isn't much of a party. There isn't much of a common agenda into which people have bought, to which people are committed. Okay? And so if we are looking at the issue of lobbying, then perhaps we are looking at just a symptom of a problem.
Okay.
Okay, I don't know whether you're getting my drift. Saying that
I'm
it is really the way the party organization works or does not work.
Okay, but according to, which means that if the party
If
organization
you see
works,
this, if you see this,
the issue of lobbies.
if you see this manifested publicly, the way it is being manifested, it is a suggestion that the party isn't working quite well.
Okay.
Okay, that's the way I look at it. And I'm saying that if A is qualified, it should be known within the party. Okay, so for any number of positions, it should be possible for party people on their own to be able to say, oh, I think that for X position, to come up with a short list of 4 or 5 people. And I'm sure that if you should touch several people in the same party, the same names may keep coming up.
Okay.
Because they've demonstrated competences in that policy area, for instance.
Okay.
Okay. Because what is the government coming to do? It's coming to do policy work.
Indeed.
Precisely. But as things stand, that really does not appear to occupy our parties very much.
I see.
And that is really the real pity.
No, okay.
Okay. And so, in the absence of that,
Quickly, I have to take
then
a commercial break.
okay, I think we can come back to that.
Yeah, so but when we come back also, as part of it, we'll look at the gender advocate group. We want more women and all that. We'll look at it and the technocratic positions for board CEOs and the rest of the issue. Stay with me. I'll be right back after this. Hello, welcome back. If you just tuned in, this is Majority Caucus Live on your multi-TV. We've been looking at the issue of lobbying and now politics. I have been doing this discussion with Comrade Kusidu and Dr. Percy. Issues to look at so far, whether or not the lobbying strategy is ideal. Even at all, we do agree with the idea of lobbying, or it's too early in the nature of our politics to engage in such activities. But Comrade, in your article, you made mention of WILDA, Women in Law and Development and all that, they made very, very disparaging remarks about the president and where he comes from, that but for free education, he would have been a cattle rearer, and you are wondering why they should now be lobbying the same person they sought to, damage his reputation for position.
Some of the organizations that are affiliated
to
WILDA when making those positions. Now, it explains part of the problem that Dr. Percy was talking about the party. Now, you have a situation where people who are not part of the program, part of the idea that this is what we want to achieve, suddenly jump overboard, over you, over everybody. And they come and say, hey, this is our list. We want you to appoint these people. Whether or not they believe in your party program or not, we want you to appoint them. Why? And then they're arrogant enough to say, if you do not appoint 40%, then Parliament should not approve of it. How dare they?
That sounds to me like a blackmail.
If they want, why don't they form their own party?
Okay.
And then solicit for support, and we vote for them. We decide to vote for them. Okay? Now, the fact is that these organizations, that about the 40% gender thing, which it's possible that some politicians within the NDC said it in the 2012 election, but I'm not sure it was in the party manifesto.
It was in 2008.
2008 was promised by Professor Mills.
Yeah.
I'm sure that it is possible that some politician might have also said it for 2012, but I didn't see it in the manifesto. Maybe I haven't read it completely. I've read it, but I didn't see it. Now, the fact is that let's look at it very carefully. People who lobby, and the way, in fact, in the case of Wilder, they were dictating to the president what he should do and who he should appoint, and then threatening at the end.
That sounds like blackmail.
Is that when they say women, who are they talking about? These are elitist groups who do not necessarily fight for the ordinary woman in the street, the woman who lives in the compound house with the husband and the children. When they were pushing for the domestic violence bill, part of what they were saying was that, hey, if there is a quarrel between the man and the woman, the man should be made to leave the house. Straight away, you know that they were not talking about all women. Because the woman who lives with her husband in the compound house or the family house, you say the brother, they're living in the man's family house. The man should leave the house and she stays there. Is it possible?
That's a problem.
So instead of talking about safe houses for women suffering from domestic violence and things, they were not interested. They were interested in the law that would make them the elite women who live in these houses with their husbands alone to be able to push them out. These are the people who say that they should be appointed, and that if you don't appoint them, they should not be approved. That's arrogance. In any case, it is up to the party to decide. And you can tell people that you did not live up to your promise of 40%, so don't vote for him next time. They did it, that Professor Mills didn't do it, and it appears the electorate didn't listen. They still voted for the NDC. So it is not up to them to give threats and things like that.
But normally the excuse coming from the executive is that, oh, we've looked around, we couldn't find the women who are willing because they are afraid of, the nature of Ghanaian politics. Even though they are competent, they qualify, but they are unwilling to accept political appointments. And that is why some of this women or gender advocate group, if you like, come out and say, okay, President, we are ready to help you. We have the list. If you can't find them, we can find them.
On this occasion, they were not helping. They were not saying they were offering a helping hand to the president. They were dictating to the president. In any case, I don't also necessarily agree when the politicians say, oh, we didn't find. In this equation of getting a certain number from regions and getting a certain number from parliament and then some other considerations, you may find yourself boxed up somewhere. And you may find that in some areas, your hands are tied. So you may, if you want to appoint the 40%, it is possible you may end up appointing most of them from 1 or 2 regions. So that will disturb your regional balance and things like that. So some of these things do happen. But I think that it is important that people like Oyelita and others, they are at the front line in fighting not just only for women's rights, but for ordinary people's rights. And talking also about even the Freedom of Information Act and things like that, and they're proving themselves, not those who...
But talking about Oyelita, let me pick your thought on some group of bishops have issued a press statement opposing her nomination, because she supported the call for gay rights in Ghana, and they think that is a serious problem.
Excuse me. The issue about rights is there.
Okay.
Now, the fact is that it is not that Mrs. Oyelita was supporting. It's not a matter of support or not support. People have their rights. You don't have to persecute them. Okay? And I think that that is the point that Oyelita was making. So there are people who have virtually become extremists that certain things should be expunged. As far as I'm concerned, if some people do things in the privacy of their bedroom, I'm not going to go around looking for them in order to punish them.
Okay.
And I think that would be infringing on the rights of people. And so if they decide to go along those lines, they are the ones with the problem.
Well, were you surprised that none of the gender advocate groups jumped to her defense when this press statement came out?
I haven't taken particular attention.
I'm surprised. I thought this would be the ripe moment, for them to...
I don't know.
I see.
I don't.
Dr. Percy, clearly from what Comrade has just stated, the issue of appointment is a serious business. My greatest worry is when it comes to positions like the board's appointment, CEOs, chairman of boards. This seems to be like purely technocratic positions, yet sometimes...
Well, I'm not sure what technocratic means.
It's supposed to be the engine of whatever industry or organization they are going to head.
You mean that there are no material interests at stake?
Not really. Those will be a byproduct of the reaction. But really, substantively.
I mean, that's a whole new... I mean, that's a whole line of argument that one could pursue.
Okay.
All politics is about interests.
Yeah.
All statements, all slogans,
okay,
all declarations reflect one material interest or another.
Okay.
People may attempt to mask them.
Okay.
Okay. But we should not be fooled for a minute.
At all.
Yes. And if I may go back to the point I was developing earlier, saying that the work of government is a business of policy. So you respect that in developing their manifesto or even being in opposition and raising all the issues that they raise. If a party is in opposition, it is developing its policy, alternative policy positions. And that people would have been involved in that work. They would have been researching, they would have been testing the pulse of the people, what are their concerns, what are the issues. They'll be in touch with their constituency. And I don't mean geographic, I mean in terms of the or what.
Okay. Physical.
But the social classes that they represent. Okay. And the agenda they present to the country, on the basis of which they get elected, would sum up that. Now, that body of work, which is now to be carried out in government, I'd expect to be led by the very people who have developed those positions. So if the government, any government, has a position on education, to be my expectation that the people who have led the work in developing their positions on education will have the job of leading its execution.
That's an interesting perspective.
Okay? And so forth and so on.
Okay.
Okay? And that's what brings me back to the point I made earlier, that in many senses, all our parties are dysfunctional.
So for instance, the appointment of Professor Jane, you think that that's a right choice in your view?
I have no knowledge of that. I knew her long ago at a personal level.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sure she's a fine person, but I don't know to what extent she has been engaged in developing the policy positions of the NDC. Okay? I don't know.
I asked you because you made mention of people who are known.
No. So I was making a point about the work of the party.
The party.
Okay? Because there's this notion that the people who are working for the party are the people who are seen on TV, say, a program like this. I'm not a member of the NDC. Okay? Although I have many friends in the NDC. And I'm making this point. Sometimes you can even come across as being, mourning more than the bereaved.
Yes.
Okay. But the point I'm making really is that if the NDC has a position, a plank in this platform on any policy area, I would expect that that came about as a result of the work of a group in the party at many levels.
Okay.
Okay? And I expect the leaders of that work to take the lead in implementing their policy when they win power.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
And I'm saying that so I'm just using one area as an illustration. Okay? If they developed a policy position on the holistic management of waste, recognizing it as a major resource, okay, not the way we are doing it now, okay, that the group that led that work would have the business of rolling it out.
Okay.
Okay. That way it will be really straightforward.
Yeah. Let me take my final break, but when I come back, we'll look at quickly the recent, the immediate nomination that President just made.
I see that you're not very comfortable with the point I'm making.
No, it is, but of course I'm going to allow you to finish.
Okay.
Except that I'm time constrained, and I'll be right back after this. Hello, welcome back to the show. This is Majority Caucus Live on your multi-TV. The text line have been activated, 1760. Keep your text coming in. Shortly, I would activate the phone lines, and then we could also hear your view. Dr. Percy, you were making a very solid point.
Yes, I was saying that.
By the way, I'm very comfortable with it.
Okay, but just to go along another line.
Briefly.
I hear that there are voices that are being raised in the NDC, for instance, about the all-inclusive.
Yes.
Okay. Of course, there's been a second list of persons out.
Yeah.
And someone has reminded that there are many appointments being made. Okay. Now, if all-inclusive means bringing people who do not buy into the vision of the party, okay, who do not buy into the president's vision, then it's completely wrong. Okay? And it's a sure recipe for disaster. Okay? And historically, that approach has always led to grief. It led to grief with Nkrumah and the CPP when they went along that route with the one-party state by bringing people who were ideologically opposed, but who could only find their way if they joined the CPP. So they joined the CPP and they destroyed it from within. They helped to destroy it from within. Okay? It didn't serve the late president very well.
Okay.
Okay? When you had people who were openly against his party, occupying various positions and sabotaging its work. If all-inclusiveness means opportunities for all citizens, okay, so that they can carry on their businesses wherever they are, that is fine. But it's not their business to be part of government if they don't buy into the government.
So there's a limit, even with the all-inclusiveness
policy.
policy.
I'm saying that it is absolutely wrong.
Okay, you don't even agree with it.
To bring in people who do not buy into who don't share your vision. And I'm talking about vision of Ghana, where you want Ghanaian society to be. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And part of the problem that the NDC has had, okay, which is an ideological one. Okay, because its very ideology says that it is possible to achieve reconciliation, harmony with those who are the class enemies or the people who form your base.
Absolutely. Let me announce the phone lines so my viewers could share and their opinions. You could now join in the discussion on 030221100124, 030221170124. Comrade, there is an interesting observation that I've made here. Not too long ago, the minority leader spoke openly and very passionately about the need to make the majority leader, leader of government business, so he could, lay papers before the House. Well, according to the Constitution, there's some legal constraint. You need to be a minister before. But I'll come to you. Let me take this caller. Hello, Sadiq.
Yeah, this is Sadat.
Okay, Sadat. Yeah.
Yeah, Ali Dawood, thank you very much for this glorious opportunity.
You're most welcome.
But I'm highly surprised when the second name drop or come out from the presidency.
Why
is it that this morning we had a press release from the Western Regional House of Chiefs or some section of the chiefs that the energy or the oil ministry should be given to his son. So
would you not think that is a mere coincidence?
No. I don't think. So at least even if it was to be a coincidence, the president should have been firm enough. I mean, change Emmanuel Kofi Boa to another ministry so that though the fellow will come from Western region, so I mean, show that he is firm in his decision or whatever he is doing. So we need people who can work. We also know that he's a land that president for now. He's not until the court decides that he is a president.
Okay.
But we are seeing from now only 2 people from Northern region out of the law 20. That's all
okay, so that run up. Okay, thank you very much, Sadat, for your opinion. I have Philip on the line. Hello, Philip.
Yeah, my brother, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, you're doing great job. And your panels, we salute them.
Okay.
You need to educate the Ghanaians. And yesterday you hear your police from MPP, the way you saying to the Ghanaians, it's not good, right? Because they say you blame Mahama for this, and you believe those people on Tahrir Square. The name is not Tahrir, but it's Kwame Nkrumah Square by 18 for Tahrir, and you smash the people vehicle. You stop that, and now you do press conference, say Mahama do. It's not good for Ghanaians because these things is creating to war.
Okay.
You understand, my brother? You say you don't like this government, and you go to court so that it can change. So how about the supporter for NDC? You agree with you, and you say foreigners is more to come into this nation because they have the problem. Why the court decide to give you this opportunity? Believe yourself.
Okay, Philip,
so
thank you very much.
Coming from outside from this.
Okay, Philip, thank you very much for your opinion. I'm running out of time. I have my final caller, Sharif. Hello, Sharif.
Yes, I'm Sharif from Nigeria.
Okay, Sharif.
Yes,
You're on air.
I've been watching Ghanaian politics with keen interest.
Okay.
And I think I'm a very good friend to the president. On your today's discussion, I'm very much in line with what the doctor was saying. Because politics is not a kid play. He said it all. We have to refer back to history. What happened to those who led us, either in Ghana, Nigeria, in many other countries? If you don't have a synchronized interest with anybody, please don't let him in, because he will destroy you.
Okay.
And I'm advising most of our leaders, they should look for a book. I can't remember the author. They call him Attila the Hunt. So they would know what party organization means and leadership means. Thank you, and God bless you. It's a wonderful program.
Okay, thank you very much, Sharif, all the way from Nigeria. I have a final caller, very, very final caller. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Comrade, there is an issue regarding the chiefs lobbying, threatening the president, and then lo and behold, their wishes came true. Somebody is protesting. The president should have changed, even though it could be a case of mere coincidence.
No, if it is coincidence, then it is coincidence.
Do you believe it is coincidence?
But I don't know. I don't know whether it is coincidence. But it is possible that he listened to concerns, but is the chief a member of the team that determined the program of the NDC to say, you know, if it is not coincidence, would that be a good idea? So but to be frank with you, I don't know whether it was a decision that had been taken before.
Are you happy with the outcome that the president nominated the same person that the chief seems to be lobbying, clamoring for?
Let him do that.
Okay.
Nothing to be fair. One can only speak about coincidence, really. I don't believe that it was blackmail. The president succumbed to blackmail or pressure. But it is possible that it's just coincidence. And I think that anybody who have any knowledge about the workings of that ministry.
I think I should have another shot of this. I've run out of time.
You have run out of time.
But briefly in 15 seconds. Yeah, 15.
No, I'm just saying that anyone could say that the Honorable Kofi Boah has been quite effective at that ministry as deputy minister.
Yeah.
And he was a likely candidate. Okay, so I would just put it to coincidence more than anything else.
Okay.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we'll end the show on this philosophical note. And thank you very much, my guests, for making the time in here. But before I go, I have a quick text I need to read from Ferguson. He said, I'm really enjoying your panelists on the show today. However, please please ask Sami Uku for me whether one needs a license to hold a cane. And even if the NDC needs advice, I surely will not come from Sami Uku. Good evening, and that's from Ferguson, all the way from Spintex. Thank you very much for watching. Make a date with me here. Same time when I come your way with another exciting edition of Majority Caucus. Till then, stay blessed and enjoy the rest of your night. Bye-bye.